Hi, how's it going, my fellow NetDeckers? Welcome to the 5th episode of the Sunday Night Report. Can't believe this, I've been doing this for 5 weeks already. But anyway, we are going strong, and in this Sunday Night Report, we usually discuss the latest happenings in Legends of Runeterra, interesting decks, tips, memes of the week, and just anything about the channel. So basically, let's just start with our interesting decks first. So let's just see what is currently happening in the meta right now. So if you look at this, right, this is the EU Master rank ladder stats. You can see that TF Fist is still at the top, and Ophelio Zoe and Ophelio Twisted Fate is still doing very well, and it's kind of quite sad to see that happening. Like, there isn't a lot of new decks, like the Meta Stars, King of Metas, they are all old decks, which is can't really help it though. Hopefully they make some changes, make some like sizable changes that will really shake up the meta. And I think something that's interesting here is that Nessus Trash is doing quite well. If you look at this, he's getting like 55% win rate because this is green, right? And win rate scale is 55% is green. So this is something that's possibly we can consider playing this deck. It seems like an interesting one. It feels like a kind of like an ASOL deck where you use your trash to summon your ASOL for free. And I probably should try this soon, but it's interesting. But sadly, if you look at this, Lysandra Trundle is not doing that well. I thought Lysandra Trundle is going to do very well, like against TF Beast. But I think against other champions, against other decks, he might not be doing that well because like against like Fioras who can create barriers and all this, your Ice Shards and Avalanche might not work as well. So not very sure about that. LeBlanc Ezreal seems to be doing decent, but I haven't really seen it. I think it's just growing in popularity slowly and slowly. But I think another disappointing part is really just Vladimir Brom. Finally made it to the meta, but he's getting less than 48% win rate. Maybe just one day. Like in the second and third expansion, we might see better cards. Or is this the last time they're gonna release cards to improve this synergy with Bloodletter and Ice Shards? Is that the end? Not very sure. Hopefully they release more cards that can synergize with this Scargrounds combo and all these things. But anyway, I think if you are looking for a budget deck, if you are a new player, a budget player, you might want to consider the Azure deck. I mean, it's getting more than 55% win rate, this is like the Swims more like the Azure burn deck. So you are just playing a lot of very small Shadow Owls creature and a lot of Sand Soldiers to just rush down your opponent. But I mean, if you got the cash to spare, if you got the shards to craft, you can just try and go for Nessus Trash. Or just any of these decks here also works out very well if you are trying to play something that is consistent. So these are all tried and tested, but they don't really play new cards at all. So that's that. But let's just move on to something that's interesting decks that you can actually copy. If you are interested in the Nessus Trash, there's the deck code here. I think this is one of the top players. The guy basically got into like the top 100 position in EU. And this is the Nessus Trash deck he has. I'll just include this tweet in the description below so you can just go in and see and just copy the deck code. The deck code is just at the right side. So you can see that this is the Nessus Trash deck. It's a very much like you are slaying your units a lot using the Shadow Owls combo, Ravenous Butcher, you use it to slay your Curse Keeper. You can use Blighted Caretaker to slay your Fading Icons and all of these things. And you can really buff up your Nessus very high. And you can use Atrocity to kill your opponent with Nessus. And that's that. Scouts are still doing quite well, but sadly there isn't any new cards that is included. Maybe Penitent Squire, Golden Aegis. I was hoping that there is a viable elite deck, but I think it's like can't be helped though. Let's just see how the new patch will change the meta. Hopefully the new patch, yeah, there's a new patch. I mean, last week there wasn't a patch at all, so oh well. But I think this is another interesting deck created by a female streamer. Quite rare. Like if I look at my channel stats, 99.9% is all guys, so it's a sausage fest, unfortunately. But there's like about 1% that is like girls that is watching it, but I don't know who you are. Are you still watching it? Do you follow the channel closely. But if you are, please comment down below and just let me know. I mean, at least it's good to know that you have female viewers. Like in a game that is so saturated with guys, you know. Wow. But okay, let's just look at the deck now. This is basically a Riven Siever deck, and I think this is quite interesting because Siever herself has Spell Shield along with Rune Runner, and you can use Riven or the Blade Fragments to cast all the very good keywords like Overwhelm, Quick Attack, and the increased attack damage on Siever or Rune Runner to make them very strong, so they can have Quick Attack and they can have Overwhelm, and they can just cleave through your opponent's creature very easily. And most importantly, the Spell Shield prevents them from getting removed by like some removal cards like Vengeance and all this, which is very useful here. Like I think a lot of the issues here, like when I run Riven decks, is your opponent either has Vengeance, Ruination. You always have to like be very on your toes, you know, try to play around it. But sometimes it's inevitable. You have to play into it. There's no other choice. So this is like kind of an awkward situation, or they can just stun you as well. And then this really makes it very easy for you to just deal damage to your opponent and kill them. And I think you have other combat spells here like Ruthless Predator and Shapestone that can really increase your attack damage. And you know, with all your Overwhelm cards that is generated from your Blade Fragments, you are able to do quite a high amounts of damage here. Yeah. So basically this is quite an interesting deck. Probably gonna play this like today or something and just record it and show it to you guys. But this deck helped her reach, if you can't see this, she just basically says that it helps her climb through Platinum and it still pulls its weight in Diamond, which is not too bad. I think a lot of us who are watching this video are not exactly pro player. I don't think a pro player want to watch this video, watch my channel at all. I'm not exactly pro, so we are about the range of silver, bronze to maybe platinum, diamond, I suppose. So this is quite interesting that you can try out to climb through these low to mid tier ranks. But that's basically it. All the interesting decks that I found, and it's actually not bad. So let's just move on to the tips of the week. I mean, this tip of the week is, I think, is more relevant to new players and just average players in general. So basically, somebody, Fresh Lobster, the content creator, wrote a 5 tips to improve Legends of Runeterra. So basically what it's saying is that you have to learn all your keywords, learn all the common deck matchups, practice, analyze your gameplay, have someone look at your gameplay. But I think what is most important to me, right, that can really improve your gameplay is just having some knowledge of the common decks and matchups. That is the most impactful way, because like a lot of the time as you keep climbing rank, you keep going higher and higher, you are facing more optimized decks that are very popular in the meta right now, and knowing what kind of cards they are playing is very important. And I think as an average player, maybe if you have the resources, you have been playing for quite some time, you can create these decks and try and play it so you can remember it better instead of just looking at a tier list and try and memorize it, which is a bit too much. You're not trying to do homework here, right? We are all just trying to have fun and play the game. So the easiest way is just crafting the deck and just trying it out. And maybe it's just through experience. The more you play against these decks, the more you realize like what kind of cards they will play. And just being aware and conscious when you're playing the game. I think a big part, like a big issue that I have is just it's very hard to stay focused and play the game. It's like sometimes I just tune out and just play blindly and everything, but then I miss out a lot of things. Sometimes my opponent will have a sudden vengeance or ruination that I didn't realize it. I think the worst mistake is the judgment mistake. Your opponent just has 8 mana and just drop a judgment on you and you just lose the game immediately. So these are the moments that you want to be conscious and stay like focused. I mean, of course it's still a game, so you want to have fun as well. And I think winning is also part of the fun. So playing as much as possible and just learning the common decks and just creating these decks and playing it out and see how it works is very useful. I think over time you'll get better actually. Like, I mean, even though now you might not be very good, I think I've seen on Reddit there are a lot of people who just joined Legends of Runeterra and they were complaining, like not really complaining, just voicing out their concern, like how they are having a hard time trying to climb rank. And just basic low-level rank like silver to gold can be quite difficult, and I don't deny that it can be quite difficult. But I think everything just boils down to just keep playing and just go with the easiest deck to play. Go with the deck that you're most comfortable with. Just craft that tier 1 deck and you just keep playing, get familiar with the deck and keep playing, and you eventually kind of reach gold or platinum or diamond. Because if you look at the amount of like LP you gain when you win a game, right? I think in the early ranks it's not equal, like you win once, you win you get 20, you lose you get 20. It's not the case. When you win you actually get more than you lose. And if you play long enough, you play a deck that is 50% win rate, right? Eventually you will rank up, because 50% on a higher LP, right, will eventually like outmatch the losing LP. Like let's say you when you win you get 20 LP, you lose you get like 10 LP. So eventually you will net out and you will exceed. I think the only issue is that when you reach the later ranks where you are losing and winning with the same amount of LP, that becomes more of like a test of your skills and also the choice of your deck. So you will, at that point you will want to try and get decks that are like 50 to 60% win rate, because you are winning more than half of the time if you are able to pilot it properly. And that's basically it. The tips of the week. Hopefully this is useful for you guys. I think it can be quite difficult to find good tips, but I'm trying to get better at it. So the last one is meme of the week. I just found this recently, 15 hours ago. This is not really a meme, but this is interesting. They wrote, "No one knows LeBlanc's true identity. He could be anywhere and anyone. You could be LeBlanc." Did you all see the Black Rose Spy card? The Black Rose Spy is basically LeBlanc, so it's like, you are LeBlanc, I am LeBlanc, everybody's LeBlanc. And it's damn funny when you use Black Rose Spy to copy the Leviathan. How can a human transform to become a battleship? Like, how does that make sense? Where's the logic in that? Yeah, so I think that's quite funny though. I think I need to play a LeBlanc deck soon. I still need to craft 2 more. I think LeBlanc is my last champion that I haven't fully crafted. Yeah, I didn't have time to play, so that's that. And the last thing. So generally the last segment is either mailbag section, but nobody has been asking any questions. I think I'm still not popular enough to have a lot of people ask questions, so I just talk about anything that I'm interested in. Basically, I think this time I want to touch on the topic of content creation in Legends of Runeterra. I think Legends of Runeterra is a very good game to play. I think because of the constant release of new content, there are a lot of hype around it, and you can gain followers very easily. And there's a lot of different decks you can play, and it's very easy to get views as compared to playing other kind of games. Other kind of games, like maybe you play like maybe Slay the Spires, you might not get as much views as you want it to be, because not everybody has Slay the Spires, not everybody is willing to fork out money to play Slay the Spires. But Legends of Runeterra, the good thing is that it's free, so a lot of people are playing it. About 5 million people have downloaded the mobile app, which is quite a sizable bit. And you have constant release of content, there's competition around the game, which makes content creation which makes it a very good game for you to just play, stream or something. But streaming wise, it's still quite contentious whether is it a good game to stream. But overall, there's a lot of hype and attention around these games, so you are able to do quite well. But at the same time, because the game is free, unlike other games like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering where you have to buy packs, it makes it very difficult for you to compete. The competition is tough. And since the cards are so easy to get, everybody can be a content creator now. And competing with all these people can be quite a tough, very challenging thing. I realized, like, these few days, these few weeks. With so many content creators around, like once the new set release, I create a lot of videos, but I don't have the time to create videos every day to find out new unique decks and show it to you guys. You see a lot of people like they are like studying and they have a lot of free time, so they can create content every day, and I think the first 2 weeks they already covered all of the unique decks, and at the end of the day I didn't manage to cover it because I don't have the time to do that. And that can be quite tough, like competing with somebody that can play, create content every day. That can be quite tough. So I'm still trying to find like a good way to just a sustainable way to create content, yet at the same time trying to get more viewers and subs. I think at the end of the day, the channel goal is still the same. Is to create as much positive impact as possible, to entertain people and to help people get through their day. And in that sense, like our goal also sort of pushes us to expand the channel more and to try and get the content out to as much people as possible and to create things that are relevant. And I think with the competition is that it's very hard to create content that is relevant because by then people will have covered it. So is it really relevant? It's no longer relevant really, I think so. That's what I think. But I think at the end of the day, this is still a kind of the focus of the channel is still on Legends of Runeterra. So I will still create Legends of Runeterra content. I'll try to differentiate myself through other ways too, because I can't be creating content every day. And I'm not the best player out there. I'm not the most creative deck builder out there. I can't create unique decks every single time. I can't like convince you to watch my channel. I can't attract you to watch my channel because I have very good gameplay or skills that can teach you something. I don't have. I'm just a regular ass player. I make mistakes, sometimes I do well. So I think there's a kind of a pivot, I think, towards more entertainment, and just this is also one of the channels for me, one of the mediums for me to just get better at presenting and just connecting with you guys and just be more entertaining in general. That's the most important part. If I can't be a skillful player, at least I need to be entertaining, right? I need to be able to connect with you guys. And that is probably one of the direction I want to go towards. Like I can't create content every day. That can't be helped. I have a full-time job, so that's that. But I still enjoy playing the game though. I still enjoy playing it. But I think there will be like as you can see, growth has been quite difficult. Like trying to grow the channel. Like you see a lot of other players, they manage to grow very quickly because they are very good players, and I'm not very good. So you can see that I have exponential growth in the first 2 weeks of the new set. Then all of a sudden the growth just stopped this week. So I'm just stuck at 915 subscribers. I just stuck there. No subs in these 2 weeks, in these 2 days. And that is like very worrying. And this kind of prompts me to think about where the channel should go. And I mean, at the end of the day, I know that all of you all who sub to this channel is yours. The reason is Legends of Runeterra, and it's true. I will continue to do Legends of Runeterra content. I will continue to do it because that's how I started and that's what I'm interested in as well. And of course, there's also a need to just differentiate and try and find ways to get more viewers and to just create more impact in the community. And that's something that I've been thinking about, and hopefully I can get something concrete out. And when we reach 1000 subs, I can do an update video where I can just let you guys know what's happening. Yeah, so thanks for watching. It has been 20 minutes. I know that there are about 5%, I've seen the stats, 5% of the viewers watch all the way until the end. So I get about 100 views for a Runeterra report video, then 5%, that's about 5%. But thanks to I think I want to thank the 5% who watches all the way. But even though if you watch all the way, like not really all the way, if you watch until the midway through to see all the Legends of Runeterra stuff, I'm still grateful for that. I mean, as long as you click on the video, you watch first 2 minutes to check it out, at least minimally check it out, I'm still cool with it. Yeah. But if you sub to the channel, you don't have to like this report at all. You can just check other stuff as well. I'm just thankful to be in this position, to have gained so much subscribers. Like, even though like I'm not growing as fast as others, but I'm still quite ahead as compared to other kind of content creators that are just not committed at all. I've been quite committed so far, and I'm just glad I'm in this position right now. So thanks for watching.